Today we're going to be rating cards from Fallen Empires, one of those sets that really fell off a cliff when it came out. Alright, we're going to start off with Delif's Cone, 0 mana artifact. Looks broken, no? All 0 mana artifacts are broken, but just wait. You tap it, sacrifice Delif's Cone if target creature you control attacks and is not blocked. You may choose to gain its power in life. But if you do so, it deals no damage to opponent this turn. God, that is terrible. I don't even know if even hardcore artifact decks would want to play this. So basically, yeah, you can gain life equal to your creature's power, but in exchange, you will deal no damage to your opponent. Yes, let's not kill the opponent. Let's gain life instead. What a great idea. So anyway, this card is easily terrible card. No good. Not even by today's standards. All right, next let's look up the Deep Spawn. What we got here? The Deep Spawn for a blue 5 generic. We got a 6/6 Homerid with Trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Deep Spawn unless you put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. That actually sounds good. You get to build your graveyard for not, like, that's a cost? Nothing. Then by all means, I'd like to put cards in my graveyard. And we got the ability for a blue. Deep Spawn gains Shroud until end of turn and doesn't untap during your next untap step. Tap Deep Spawn. Interesting. This is actually not that bad. It's 8 mana, which, by the way, we don't really want to pay that much. But it is a 6/6 Trampler that has protection from removal, and it builds your graveyard in the right deck. Matthew M says, oh yeah, Deep Spawn. Thought it was terrible back then. I think this might be one of the best cards in the set. And you know what? I'm going to have to judge this card based on all the other cards in the set. I'm going to give this a little bit of a pass. It's a blue Trampler, builds graveyards, and gives itself protection. Kyle Driver with us. Super chat. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. It's awesome. Headed to Commander Night later. Welcome, Kyle Driver. Artwork is a pretty good artwork. What is it? Zoidberg? Zoidberg would be proud. Initiates of the Ebon Hand was my introduction to the set. Initiates of the Ebon Hand. Can we get a Fallen Empires version? Oh, look at the evil eye. A black 1/1 cleric. Pay 1. Add a black to your mana pool. Place this ability as an interrupt. If more than 3 is spent in this way during 1 turn, bury the initiates of the Ebon Hand at end of turn. So it filters mana, that's it? And if I filter too much mana, it just dies? No way. Absolute crap, even by today's standards. I can't even go very far with this card. You gotta be kidding me. The Deep Spawn plus Fry equals delicious. Just in reference to the Deep Spawn. Yep, those things. Anyway, I have nothing else to say about this card. I can see the art drawing some people into the game, but that's about it. There are like 3 of those mana dorks. Are you kidding me? Like, there's 3 mana filters. It doesn't add mana. You gotta pay mana to get that black mana. It ain't free. It comes with a cost. Aradia, Hymn to Turok prevents Fallen Empires from being one of the worst sets. I disagree, but Hymn to Turok is one of the best cards in this set. It's one of the saving graces. I think there's like 3 playable cards in this entire set, and even by today's standards, like almost nobody plays this card. It's banned in Pauper, but I don't know. Is it time to unban this card in Pauper? Pauper players are not going to like that. Okay, black. Sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards at random. Yes, it can hit your lands. And that's why it peeves some people off. But all things considered, it's still like 1 mana, make your opponent discard some random stuff. And it's a terrible top deck. Like, you have to get this out early. It's like you play it like on turn 1, turn 2, or bust. Because once your opponent's empty-handed, like if you have too many of these types of cards in your deck, they're just like dead draws. So very useful early on in the game, very useless later on in the game. I think strategically, this is not that powerful of a card. It just isn't. It's a random lottery. That being said, it has the biggest it's like one of the greatest feel-bad cards in Magic the Gathering, because when you do hit their lands, when you hit their mana base, it obliterates people. It's like, oh my god, it turns into a non-game, which is not entirely true, because a lot of Hymn to Troc decks, they're black decks, they like the hand discard, and they may not have a very fast clock against you anyway. I want to know what the hymn was. The priests plead for your anguish and pray for your despair. That's the best we got here. That's the best I got. Herbert, another... anyway, how do we rate this card? It's a good card. Actually sees... It's actually banned in one format, in Pauper. High Tide. A card so good, they reprinted it a million times. It's even got a merfolk. Oh, no, where's the merfolk? There, it's even got a merfolk on this thing. A blue instant. Until end of turn, all islands produce an additional blue when tapped for mana. And then combined with cards that will untap your stuff, like, what's it called? Peregrine, what is it? Something Kron? Palinkron? Yeah, it actually is called Palinkron. So if you can create infinite mana with this card, because if you have, like, say, if you can cast this for 7 mana with High Tide, comes into play, untap up to 7 lands. And then, so you have a bunch of mana floating, return this thing back to your hand, recast it, untap your lands, you have infinite mana. Only with High Tide, though. Only with High Tide. So this has seen competitive play. It's banned in Oathbreaker. Are you nuts? How did that happen? It broken. I guess it's broken. It's banned in Pauper, too. I don't know how they break it in that format, either. It danger. Some people say it dangerous, some people say it's Zybers. I think it's Zybers. I think this is a cool card. I don't know how it's broken. Like, yeah, it contributes to some combos, but I mean, A, you need enough islands out. B, you need to live long enough for those islands to come out. C, you still need, like, a combo card to utilize with this. Candelabra of Thanos on High Tide. Yeah, that one works too. Candelabra. The Candelabra. Untap X target lands. That's true. But you can't untap the Candelabra, so it just doubles it. But it's not, it doesn't go infinite. Some people say it's Zybers, some people say it danger. Anyway, it is one of the best cards in this set. One of like the 3 saving graces to the entire Fallen Empires. Oathbreaker banned most rituals. This isn't really a ritual, though. I mean, you're gonna spend a blue just to cast this card. Anyway. High Tide was named. It's only downhill from... You better believe it! If we use Zyber like we do in the AI streams, every card in that set probably Zybers. No, it's... Let me tell you. Look, I'll show you a card that doesn't Zyber. And that is... the Brass Claw Orcs. This card does not Zyber. A red and 2 generic 3/2 Brass Claw Orcs is an orc, and it can't block creatures with power 2 or greater. Pathetic. Absolutely useless. You gotta be kidding me. So if the creatures get too big, it's like, no, I'm not sacking myself. Forget it. Can't block creatures with power 2 or greater. That thing's too big for me. I'm gonna leave, I don't know, Llanowar Elf or Raging Goblin, you go do it. Yeah, you deal with it. I'm not blocking it. This power is too big for me. F it. I'm not doing this. It is quite fugly. As are the orcs. Orcs are like ugly goblins, and goblins are already pretty ugly as it is. There are no good orcs. Just bad ones. I think I got a Thorn Thallid in a booster I bought the other day. What, from Fallen Empires? Thorn Thallid? Is that a card from this set? It is. The Thorn Thallid. You're opening boosters from Fallen Empires? How much does that cost? It's Fallen Empires. Probably the worst value you get for like a booster opening, because all the cards inside are worthless. Okay, we got a green 1 generic for a 2/2 fungus. During your upkeep, put a spore counter on Thorn Thallid. Pay 0. Remove 3 spore counters from Thorn Thallid to have it deal 1 damage to any target. I gotta wait 3 turns to deal a single damage to something. Absolute garbage. Well, I mean, whatever. It's a green burn creature. I guess. And since when did the fungus deal damage anyway? Seems a bit weird. Doesn't even feel flavorful. Essentially, yeah, a really slow prodigal sorcerer. I guess in theory you could build up all the spore counters, and then you could have 6 of them and deal them all at once. Don't spend, yeah, exactly. PM is like 1 damage. Yeah, in danger. All right, what do we got here next? Anyway, yeah, for sure this thing is terrible. Magic Historian, I won a tournament with a Thalid deck. Fungal Bloom plus Spore Flower was amazing. I mean, okay, to be a little bit fair, back then there was a lot of 1 toughness creatures, so maybe the Thorn Thalid had a little bit more application than it does now. It's great with Thelion, what is this? Thelon of Havenwood? Is there some combos with really old cards? Oh, that sounds like a good video idea. Old cards that combo with new cards. Each fungus creature gets +1/+1 for each spore counter on it. Green and a black. Exile gets plus... Oh, so it gets bigger. I would not say that's the most broken combo ever, but yeah, sure. Yo, Little Ted with the super chat. Eben Praetor. Let's Praetor it up. Black 4 generic. Avatar. It's 5/5 first strike trampler. Not bad. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a -2/-2 counter on Eben Praetor. Why? Can't we... What's wrong with a 5/5 first strike trampler for 6 mana? Sack a creature. Remove that -2/- counter from Eben Praetor. If the sacrifice creature was a Thrall, put a +1/+0 counter on Eben Praetor. Play this ability only during your upkeep and only once each turn. So hold on, I'm assuming we get rid of the -2/-2 and we get the +1/+0 if it was a Thrall, right? Yeah, if the sacked creature was a Thrall, we get the +1/+0. And what the hell is going on in the picture here? We've got the Easter Bunny, Mr. Lizard Man, grabbing, I don't know, a naked merfolk? Oh, I guess they're gonna sacrifice something. They're off to sacrifice. Oh, this is reserve list. Sorry, reserve list card 2, yeah. Bizarrely enough. You're buying it only for the art. I don't even know what the lore is going. I don't even know what the lore is here. This guy looks like a banker or an accountant over here. Anyway, okay, moving on. Anyway, I'm going to say this card is absolute crap. Jacob with the bottomless pit. This is Stronghold. This is not even Fallen Empires. What are you doing? We want Fallen Empire cards. Hymn to Turok had 4 variants. Yeah, there's 4 variants to these things. Okay, Termus. Rainbow Veil is the most valuable card in the set, and it's still pretty bad. Is it like a commander staple? Nice art. I don't mind it. It's a land. Tap. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. An opponent gains control of Rainbow Veil at end of turn. Oh, God. That can't be true. Is it? Oh, it's part of the reserve list. That's why. It's not your Rainbow Veil. It's everyone's Rainbow Veil. Everyone gets to have a... It's the village bicycle. Everyone gets a ride, as Austin Powers once said. In a very lewd way. Bread with Tarash's Gate. The Gate to Tarash. The black 1 generic land aura. It's an aura for lands. Can only be played on target land you control. Sacrifice a Thrall to... What's it with the Thralls in this set? To put 3 time counters on Tarash's Gate. During your upkeep, remove a time counter from Tarash's Gate. If there are no time counters on Tarash's Gate, bury it. Pay 0. Tap land. Tarash's Gate enchants. All attacking creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. I have no idea what the hell this card's trying to do. Okay, we can sack a Thrall to put 3 time counters on it. At the beginning of our upkeep, remove a time counter. If there are none, we gotta sack this thing. But we can tap enchanted land. Oh, so it basically turns the land into... like something that you can tap. You can tap the land and give all your creatures like a buff. +2, -1. But you gotta sack a Thrall in order to keep this thing on the battlefield or you're screwed. So, anyway, it's pretty useless. Pretty bad stuff. The Hand of Justice. I like the idea of that. Justice for Bottomless Vault? What's going on with Bottomless Vault? That's not from Fallen Empires, right? Oh no, it is from Fallen Empire. Oh, did I look up the wrong card? Okay, we got the right card. I got it. We got the Bottomless Vault. Comes into play tapped. You may choose not to untap Bottomless Vault during your untap phase and instead put a storage counter on it. What? So I don't even get to add mana to that. It already does nothing when it comes into play. And I can choose for it to do nothing again. So maybe it can add mana in the future. Tap, remove any number of storage counters from Bottomless Vault. For each storage counter removed, add a black to your mana pool. Why don't I just play a basic land? Just a basic land, I think, is better than this card. I think in the long run, a basic land will add more mana on this. I guess the idea is like you can store the counters on here, and at one point you can just tap it, add 5 mana for removing 5 storage counters, but it's just absolute crap. Anyway, I would play a land over this. Okay, let's go back to the Hand of Justice from Cosmic Seeds. From the Fallen Empires, poorly worded card. Okay, white 5 generic for a 2/6 creature. You can tap it. Tap 3 target white creatures you control to destroy any target creature. That's pretty impressive. So basically tap 4 things, blow something up. But it's 6 mana. That is a lot of mana over there. But the ability's great. This actually is pretty good. Yeah, how many thralls are in the set? That is a good question. With all the thrall mechanics going on here. Destroy any creature. I like this card. I think this passes. This is, yeah, top end. The top end of White Weenie. I find it intriguing. I know it's still unplayable for its mana cost, but the ability is actually quite boss. Really, really strong card. What are you guys talking about? Limited card, maybe? There was no, was there even limited at this time? I don't think so. Limited didn't exist. I don't know when limited came into existence, but a lot of these early end sets were designed without limited in mind. Yo, Little Ted is back with another super chat with the Armor Thrall. Here come the Thralls. You want to see Art 33A. Alright, we got Art 33A. Armor Thrall, black 2 generic for a 1/3 Thrall. Tap, sacrifice Armor Thrall to put a +1/+2 counter on target creature. It doesn't even seem flavorful. It should be like you sacrifice yourself to give, I don't know, your power and toughness to something else. And this is a 1/3 creature, and you're only giving it +1/+2? Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Oh, did Goblin Grenade come from this set? Well, I'll be damned. Goblin Grenade, a red sorcery. Sack a goblin to have Goblin Grenade deal 5 damage to 1 target. This card sees play in like a lot of basically the bad goblin decks. If you're playing Goblin Grenade in your goblin deck, you're playing it for fun. Because it's not a very strategically good card. If in the event that it gets countered, or you know your creature's all wiped out, or you don't even have a goblin in play, this card is useless. But so you better deal some serious damage. But it actually is one of the better cards, and I can't lie. I've died to a Goblin Grenade more than once, more than twice, maybe more than thrice in my lifetime. Occasionally I will see this thing running around in Modern, and I get my head kicked in, especially by like the what's it called? Goblin's Affinity. There's like a weird Goblin's Affinity deck out there that plays this and Shrapnel Blast. Oh, the blasts. Okay, we got... The Thrall is the armor. Yeah, I know. There was no limited, but this set offers unlimited jank. Oops. You got it, Wojtek. You got it. Alright, what next? We're gonna look at Toad's Delia's Cube. Or is it DeLeaf's Cube? DeLeaf's Cube! 1 mana artifact, pay 2, tap. If target attacking if target creature you controls attacks and is not blocked, another one of those cards, it deals no damage to an opponent. Okay, so why do I even want to do this? Instead, put a cube counter on Deleif's cube. Pay 2, remove a cube counter to regenerate target creature. Yes, I see there's like, at the cost of not killing your opponent, I want to protect myself. That's how all these stupid cards work. They're absolute garbage. Breeding Pit. Oh, by the way, this card is part of the reserve list. What a wild reserve list. Alright, Breeding Pit, a black 3 generic enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack Breeding Pit unless you pay black. At the beginning of your end step, put a 0/1 black Thrall creature token onto the battlefield. So we have to... This is like Bitter Blossom before there was Bitter Blossom. And I guess this is the Thrall generator here. Well, where's the Fallen Empires version? There we go. Oh, what a wild art. Wild stuff. Yeah, treat this token as a 0/1 black creature. All right, no, I don't like paying that cost every turn. That doesn't sound good. That is not very appealing to me. Never gonna do it. Gareth with the huge super chat. Thank you so much. Night Soil. Lit means faces. Meant brought in 90s. From the Fallen Empires. Lit means faces? I don't know what that means. Alright, it's an enchantment. Pay 1, remove 2 creatures in any graveyard from the game to put a Sapperling token into play. Treat this token as a 1/1 green creature. This card is great! I like this card. You remove 2 creatures from graveyards, that's like graveyard hate. And you actually get a green creature out of this. And it's very reasonable. It's like Scavenging Ooze. It's like Scavenging Ooze, but instead of gaining life, you exile more creatures than you would expect. Plus, you get a 1/1 green creature. This actually is not too bad. This is a pretty neat card. I think if this was printed, if this was reprinted, it would see some play. I think it would see some play. I'm not entirely sure. All right, we got Skitherialt with Feral. Does that such thing exist? Oh, sorry. Such card does not exist. Okay, Thelanite Druid just be pointing. By Bread. Okay, Thelanite Druid. A green 2 generic 1/1 cleric. Pay a green tap and a 1 generic tap. Sack a creature to turn all your forests into 2/3 creatures until end of turn. The forests still count as lands, but may not be tapped for mana if they were brought into play this turn. Yeah, of course, because they got summoning sickness. They got to remind people of that. Sack a creature. I don't know if I'd want to do this, and I don't know if how many creatures I'd have. Or how many lands that I would have creatures. Anyway, I'm not in love with this card. 2 thumbs down. That's right. That's what I want to do. Turn my creatures into lands that can be destroyed. Finding good Fallen Empires cards is a pretty hard task. Then look for the worst ones. Why are you people looking for good ones? Jesse says, would people build 100 card decks just because the games were going to round 90 consistently? What does this mean? That's a way to make sure you get its cost right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, there's something called Raiding Party. There is! Okay, we got a red 2 generic. Enchantment called Raiding Party. Raiding Party may not be the target of white spells or effects. That's right. What's the Oracle text? It can't be the target of white spells or abilities. Alright, from white. Pay 0, sack an orc to destroy... Oh, planes! Really? A player may tap a white creature to prevent up to 2 planes from being destroyed. Any number of creatures may be tapped in this manner. Imagine... Because you just have to sack an orc, right? So it's basically 3 mana. It's just 3 mana. Destroy all the planes in play. A player may tap a white creature to prevent up to 2 planes from being destroyed. Wild! I actually think this is a pretty good card. Pretty good stuff. You just have to wait for your opponent to tap out, and boom, goodbye all the planes. And this is, by the way, this is an enchantment. This stays on the battlefield forever. So at any moment that they get more planes on the battlefield, you can sack another orc and blow them all up. I guess the hard part is playing enough orcs to make this playable, but I like it. I like it. It's hard to find bad Fallen Empires cards. Oh, come on. There's tons of bad ones out here. Truth be told, this card's bad. Like, how many orcs do you have? But I think it's one of the better ones out of all these stupid cards. Yeah, tap out or Wrath or White Weenies. Okay, Yo Little Ted with Vodalian War Machine. Was this the original? The original vehicle! We got a 0/4 blue Vodalian War Machine. Pay 0, tap target merfolk you control to allow Vodalian War Machine to attack this turn, or to give Vodalian War Machine +2/+1 until end of turn. If Vodalian War Machine is put into a graveyard, all merfolk tapped in this matter this turn are destroyed. That's right, you blow up the machine, you blow up all the merfolk crewing that thing. Card's awful. Okay, we got Nymph Frodel with Balm of Restoration. A 2-mana artifact. Pay 1, tap, sacrifice Balm of Restoration to gain 2 life or prevent up to 2 damage to any player or target. This is what? So this is just colorless life gain, effectively. Not all armies enjoyed the services of a medic. For them, Balm of Restoration was that much more valuable. Absolute garbage. But Sounds of Sushi says she's hot. Alright, go buy the card for the art. Beautiful deck that looks beautiful but does nothing. I can see it already. Yeah, take that, Shock. Take that. Okay, Vodalian Soldiers, Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. Wait, hold on. Vodalian Soldiers. Oh, that's the Fallen Empire. We actually have Merfolk in here. We have a 1/2 for 2 mana. Oh god, that just hurts me to read that. It hurts to read. We did Hymn to Turok already. We got Cosmic Seas with the Conch Horn. Conch Horn, 2 mana, artifact, pay 1, tap, sacrifice Conch Horn, draw 2 cards, and put any 1 card from your hand back on top of your library. It's like a crappy Brainstone by today's, and we don't even see Brainstone. We have Brainstone already, which is a new card, by the way. 1 mana, pay 2, tap, sack it. It turns into Brainstorm. This is just like a way worse version. Pay 1, sack it, draw 2 cards, put any 1 card from your hand back on top of your library. No good. Oh, it's reserve list, is it? And then before that, it's $5. You got $5 Brainstorm. Petty Brainstorm. Whoops, where am I going? What am I doing? I played Conch Horn in every deck back then. Why? It's not, I mean, I guess it's parity on cards, because you lose this, you're paying 3 mana. It's like a 3 mana Serum Visions or something. Absolute garbage. Hey, signed my Conch Horn this past weekend. You saw Phil Foglio. All right, what do we got next? The Jaded. Oh, the Dark Elves of Deep Shadow is literally a sweet goth. Dark Elves of Deep Shadow. Or is it just Elves of Deep Shadow? This is from the Dark. So, it's a fail here. We're talking about Fallen Empires today, the Jaded. Fallen Empires! Not the Dark. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're gonna look at more cards from Fallen Empires. Terrible cards if you've been enjoying this. We gotta thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. My one-stop place to buy all my board games, I guess, and you get 15% off old board games when you're buying at FusionGamingOnline.com. Oh, also, I get all my Magic singles, and you can pre-order March of the Machines, Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, and also Commander Masters. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online, for your ability to play any deck you want by renting the cards on Magic the Gathering Online, to play Vintage, to play Legacy, Pioneer, Standard, Modern, and more. You got it. You want it, you got it. And don't forget to support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or use coupon code Nikachu_FHD for 10% off your first 2 months. Gotta love Mana Traders. Breaking formats since it was created. All right, what are we looking at next? Joseph says Elvish Farmer. Elves are farmers now? All right, we got green, 1 generic, 0-2 elf. During your upkeep, put a spore counter on Elvish Farmer. Is this an elf or is this a fungus? All right, pay 0. Remove 3 spore counters from Elvish Farmer to put a sapling token into play. Treat this token as a 1/1 green creature. Also pay 0. Sacrifice a sapling to gain 2 life. All that work just to gain 2 life. Unbelievable. Anyway, total crap. Total garbage. Has the medics been mentioned yet? Nope. What is the medics though? The medics? I don't know what you know what you mean by the medics. So unfortunately we cannot look at it. Alright, Toads with Icarian. What the hell is this? Icarian Javelineers? Javelineers? Sicarian, no, Icarian. What is this card? Okay, we'll look up Javeliers. It is a Fallen Empire. Alright, it took a while, but we got there. Okay, Icatian Javelineers. I don't know how to pronounce someone who throws a javelin, but yeah, that's it. All right, 1 white for a 1/1 soldier. When Icatian Javelineers is brought into play, put a javelin counter on it. Tap, remove a javelin counter to have Icatian Javelineers deal 1 damage to any target. I hate this card just trying to pronounce the damn thing. Absolute trash. The ability is probably not that bad at the time, but... People spell? Or people smell? Is that a card? People spell? Or was it smell? Okay, I have no idea. What are you people talking about? Some flavor text I don't know about? It's better than needing those spore counters. Order of the Ebon Hand. Did we look at this one? Order of the Ebon Hand. I think we looked at this one already. Keep spelling this. Oh, this card. Oh! Order of the Ebon Hand. Black for a 2/1 cleric. Protection from white. Black gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Pay a black. First strike until end of turn. This is not a bad mana sink. And also, it says F you to your opponent's white creatures. I like it. I think it's good. This is a cleric? This guy's, what's it called? That creature that has a horse for a body and a human body. I don't remember. Oh, here come the super chats. The big squig. Ring of Renewal. When the show gets late, people get desperate with the super chats. 5-mana artifact, Ring of Renewal. Pay 5, tap, discard a card at random, then draw 2 cards. Doing that at end of turn is discard a card at random, and if you have no cards in your hand, then it does nothing. That's not bad. That's not terrible. I would say I'm being very charitable here. In a battle cruiser commander deck, that's card advantage. Because if you're hellbent, you're just paying 5 mana at the end of somebody's turn to draw 2 cards. To the uninitiated, the Ring of Renewal is merely an oddity. For those fluent in the wielding of magic, however, it is a source of great knowledge. With great knowledge comes great removal. Herbert with the super chat. Dwarven Ruin. Ah, yes. Dwarven Ruins. Comes to play tapped. Tap, add a red tier mana pool. Sack it, add 2 red tier mana pool. Does this not see play somewhere? I could swear something like this sees play in Legacy, where you sack. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the other card. There's like there's a Masks block card similar to this. I think it comes into play tapped, but you remove a counter on it. It comes into play with like 2 counters. Tap, remove a counter, you add double of that color. This is not bad. This is a great combo card. Or if you need to like hit, I don't know, the curve of 3 mana or 4 mana cards by turn 2, it's actually quite good. If you really need to do that. Yeah, do Homerid Spawning Bed. Homerid Spawning Bed. From Fallen Empires, blue Homerid Spawning Bed enchantment. Pay a blue 1 generic. Sack a blue creature. They just want you to sack everything in this set. That's pathetic. Where X is the casting cost of the sacrificed creature. Yeah, we put, sorry, sack a blue creature to put X Camerid tokens into play, where X is the casting cost of the sack creature. Treat these tokens as 1/1 blue creatures. So basically, you sack a blue creature and you get a bunch of 1/1s in response. I actually like that. That's not too bad. Cost is quite high, but if you're going to lose the creature anyway, you might as well turn them into Camerid tokens. Attack of the Zoidbergs. Attack of the Zoidbergs. Yeah, sack your Leviathan. That's the point of Leviathan back then. To put freaking Homerids in play. What set was Leviathan from? The Leviathan. Oh, it was a dark. Don't worry, we're gonna get there one day. We're gonna get to the dark. That's probably how people, like, thought about Leviathan. It was a good card because you could sack it to the stupid spawn bed. Lake of the Dead. Isn't that, like, a really good... that is not Fallen Empires at all. It's the Alliances card. We're talking Fallen Empires today, Lord Magicus. Yeah, Lake is Alliances. Okay, what's Tidal Flats? By Jacob. We got a blue enchantment. Blue. All your creatures that are blocking any non-flying creatures gain first strike until end of turn. The attacking player may pay 1 for each attacking creature to prevent Tidal Flats from giving that creature blocker first strike. What a trash. Especially since this is like a known trick on the battlefield. Like, this is a combat trick that your opponent just knows automatically. So they're only going to make the right attack in order to... They're not going to make a bad attack. They're only going to make the attack that is going to play around the Tidal Flats. So essentially for 1 blue, and also holding up a lot of blue mana, you can sort of bluff good blockers, but not really. A lot of people talking about Deep Spawn. What's Deep Spawn all about? Oh, we looked at that one. Yeah, we looked at Deep Spawn. Yeah, you could sack your Deep Spawn to the bed. Okay, Poxy with Soul Exchange. Okay, black. Sorcery, sack a creature, but remove it from the game instead of putting it into your graveyard. Take a creature from your graveyard and put it directly into play as though it were just summoned. Put a +2/+2 counter on this creature if the creature sacrificed was a thrall. Okay, hold on. What does this card do? It's a sorcery as an additional cost to cast the spell, exile a creature you control. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, but you get a little bit of a bonus if the card was a thrall. This actually is not terrible. not Fallen is the card I thought you were thinking of. Oh no, I was thinking of those, it's from Mask's block, those lands where they come into play tap and you add, remove a counter and you add like 2 mana. Nadira with Dwarven Catapults. Red and X instant. Dwarven Catapult deals X damage divided evenly, rounded down among all creatures target opponent controls. What's the downside here? Dwarven Catapult deals X damage divided evenly, rounded down. Oh, so hold on. So depending on how many creatures, like if I have X's too, I can deal 1 damage to one creature, 1 damage to the next creature. Often greatly outnumbered in battle, dwarves relied on catapults as one means of damaging a large army. I don't really see this card being good, even at instant speed. We're gonna give it the thumbs down here. What's the Occasion? It's like a lot of Occasion everything. Okay, let's look at Occasion Skirmisher first. The Occasion Skirmisher. For a white 3 generic, we have a 1/1 soldier with bands, which is broken, by the way. First strike. All creatures that band with skirmishers to attack gain first strike until end of turn. Beautiful. But anyway, the card 4 mana is still pretty useless. Gareth with Occasion Infantry. One white for a 1/1. You can pay 1 bands until end of turn, and pay 1 first strike until end of turn. Never. Never am I putting this in any of my decks. Yeah, we did the Deleaf's Cone. How many Deleaf cards are there? Deleaf. There's Deleaf's Cone and Deleaf's Cube. Yeah, we went through both of them. Silly cards. Mr. Deadhead with Goblin. Something. Churgian. They had everything in this set. They had the goblins, they had the orcs, they had the thralls, the spores, the saprolings, the elves, and we got the goblins. All right, we got red 0/2 goblins. Sack a goblin to regenerate a target creature. That doesn't seem, well, I don't know. Would this see play in a goblin deck? Not really. I could see some use for this. Like, you try to protect your really good goblin, and there's like so many tiny crappy goblins that you can just expend. But really, I don't think I'm loving this. Not loving this card. Is River Merfolk Fallen Empires? Alright, get this, people. Watch out! Because River Merfolk is a blue-blue 2/1 creature, and it can pay a blue. It gets Mountain Walk until end of turn. Dwelling in icy mountain streams near their goblin and orcish foes, the River Merfolk were known for their stoicism. Also known for being crap back then. At the time, this was pretty good, though, because there was almost no merfolk playable. So, I mean, if you want to make a merfolk deck, if you want to make the best of that Lord of Atlantis, you played all of these. There is no other choice. Yeah, F these flippies. I'm climbing this mountain. Is this an actual card? Org? The Org! It is! From Termus. Thank you very much. Okay, red 3 generic for a 6/6 trampler. Okay, now we all know back then you can't have a 6/6 creature for 5 mana without some massive downside. So let's hear it. Org may not attack if opponent controls an untapped creature of power greater than 2. Oh no! It's some mouse! I can't attack. Org cannot be assigned to block any creature with power greater than 2. This is like, it's a scaredy cat is what you're telling me. It's like a really powerful creature, but it's also a scaredy cat. Opponent controls an untapped creature of power greater than 2. Even though it can overwhelmingly blow that stupid thing away. Its flavor text is a win. It's bigger than it thinks. Ah, I get it. Haha. Okay, we got Space Cryptoleninism with Vidalian War Machine is your merfolk payoff. Yeah, that's right. We looked at that card, though. It's not trained. No, it's not trained. Not at all. Yeah, it's a 3/1 cat colony. Oh, no, I can't attack. Never. Okay, Cute Spider is like, oh nice, Fallen Empires. I remember being able to buy these packs in like 1998 for $1 a pack and being so confused why my classmates didn't also. There was two types of people back then. People excited for the set and people who knew it was crap. Let's look at Tidal Influence. Alright, we got blue 2 generic enchantment. Put a tide counter on Tidal Influence when it is brought into play and during your upkeep. If there is one tide counter on Tidal Influence, all blue creatures get -2/-0. Why would you want to do that? If there are 3 tidal counters on Tidal Influence, all blue creatures get +2/+0. When there are 4 tide counters on Tidal Influence, remove them all. You may not cast Tidal Influence if there is another Tidal Influence in play. I don't understand why this card exists. It's like, let's make our cards really bad at first. Really bad, and then they sort of get a little bit better later. Blue, yeah, it blew hate in blue, effectively. But absolute crap. Tidal Influence. What if we wrote an essay on a card and made it impossible to understand? That's right. I resonate with that comment. Nice flavor, terrible card. When flavor was more important. There's a lot of flavor fails in Magic the Gathering, but there was a time where flavor was so important that rendered the cards awful. Alright, the big squig with heroism is pretty awful. We got a white 2 generic heroism enchantment. Pay 0, sack a white creature to have attacking red creatures. Deal no damage during combat this turn. The attacking player may pay a red 2 generic for an attacking creature to have it deal damage as normal. Another one of these enchantments where I'm never going to attack you unless I can pay this cost. I don't know, sacking a creature seems like way too high of a price. Not loving it. Not in love with it. Markzilla. Sea Singer. Was Sea Singer in this set? Oh, it was. Sea Singer. Blue, 1 generic for a 0/1. Okay, I'm going to read the Oracle text. When you control no islands, you have to sacrifice Sea Singer. You may choose not to untap Sea Singer during your untap step and tap gain control of target creature whose controller controls an island for as long as you control Sea Singer and Sea Singer remains tapped. It's actually not terrible. Pretty good, I don't know, cube card or something, I guess. So you can steal creatures from your opponent if they have islands. What does it remind me of? It reminds me of, like, Old Man of the Sea or Threads of Disloyalty or something like that. We got Cute Spider with the Super Chat. Feral Thallid was my favorite card for a long time. Did we look at this thing? Green, 3 generic for a 6/3 fungus. Is this really the picture of a fungus? I want to say this is like some sort of weird otter of some sort. All right, anyway, it's a fungus. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a spore counter on Feral Thallid. Remove 3 spore counters from Feral Thallid. Regenerate Feral Thallid. Yeah, I will give it this. It's a 6-mana 6/3 with no big downside on its attack. In fact, it's only upside from there. Born and bred of fungus, Thallids were nearly impossible to kill. That being said, I'm still going to give it the thumbs down, but in terms of how bad of a playability it has by today's standards. But, you know, this set, whenever the creature has like 6 power, it's like it has some gigantic, stupid downside. It's absolutely what a fungus would look like if it was just mushroomed up by a bipedal body. Ah, I see. That's what it would look like. It sort of looks like an alien. Is Homerids an actual card? We looked at both of these Homerids. Has anyone mentioned Breeding Pit? No. Oh, we did look at Breeding Pit. Sorry about that. Okay, Jacob with Mind Stab Thrall. Them thralls back then. Okay, these are creatures that were meant to be sacrificed in this set. It had that synergy. We got black 1 generic for a 2/2 thrall. Whenever Mind Stab Thrall attacks and isn't blocked, you may sack a creature Okay, oh, sorry, you may sack it. Well, but if we sacrifice it, how are we going to sack a Thrall to all this other synergy in this game? If you do, defending player discards 3 cards. Holy smokes! That's crazy. If only you can give it haste somehow. All right, that's actually pretty good. That's not terrible. It's a 3-for-1. It isn't the worst thing ever, actually. I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's actually a pretty strong card. Yeah, not bad. This is like one of those cards you didn't know existed, and you're like, you know what? I might start playing that card now that I've heard of it. Oh, we got the Orcish Spy. The hell is this thing? All right, Orcish Spy. Not looking. Looks like Goblin Guide, actually. Just looking like the art. If you put like Goblin Guide at the top, you wouldn't think anything differently. There's another art. Okay, this looks more like a spy. Okay, red for a 1/1 orc. Look at the top 3 cards of target player's library and return them in the same order. So we're just looking at like what's coming up for the next few turns. Yeah, this is garbage. Absolute trash. Implements in reserve list. There's all sorts of terrible reserve list cards. It is reserve list. Implements of Sacrifice. A 2-mana artifact. Pay 1, tap. Sacrifice Implements of Sacrifice to add 2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Play this ability as an interrupt. Not terrible. I mean, it does add extra mana, but I guess by, you know, many other standards, it's quite garbage. So you pay, yeah, you pay 1 tap. So you can convert 1 mana into 2 mana. It's a very crappy ramp. Oh, there is a Thallid. Regular Thallid. Is that... Oh, it is Fallen Empires. They all look like aliens to me. This looks like something from Mars Attacks. Alright, we got a green 1/1 fungus. During your upkeep, put a spore counter on Thallid. Pay 0, remove 3 spore counters from Thallid to put a sapling token into play. Treat this token as a 1/1 green creature. I can't remember, did we look at this card already? I don't recognize the art, but the ability sounds very familiar. But then again, there's this theme of like, alright, you wait at your upkeep to put a spore counter on the damn thing, and then, oh no, we looked at something where it deals a single damage anyway. It's basically a 1/1 for 1. Wait 3 turns, get another 1/1 in play. Slowest Bitter Blossom I've ever heard of. But you don't lose life for that Bitter Blossom. Okay, we got the Dwarven Armor. I guess the Dwarven Armory. Red for a 0/2 Dwarf. Pay a red, tap. Discard a card from your hand to put either a 0/0/+1 or a +1/+0 counter on target creature. You're discarding a card to do that? I mean, it's a fine combat trick, I guess, in limited. But outside of that, no. Never! We did Hymn to Trock already. There are a bunch of Thallids in the Fallen Kingdoms. Let me go back. Let's see. We got... Orcish Champion. Let's look at Orcish Champion. Or is it... Oh, sorry. It's Orcish Captain. The Captain of the Orcs. All right. We've got the Captain. A red 1/1 Orc Warrior. Pay 1. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, target Orc creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. If you lose the flip, it gets -0/-2 until end of turn. Oh, God. There's a chance to win every battle. It's sort of a free roll. Like, so long as the creature has 3 or more toughness, you don't really lose much taking that risk. But outside of that, this guy looks very excited to either help or hurt somebody. Glad to make a stream. You change your timing. No, yeah. Well, we're back to the regular timing. We're back to our regularly scheduled program. This guy looks like a living ball sack. What the F? Yes, he does. Very shaved, though. And his ballsack army behind him. I don't know. Well, I wonder where Mark Tedden got the inspiration. Anyway. Okay, Oxygen with Draconian Silex is really dumb, not gonna lie. Okay, we got a 3-mana artifact. Pay 2, tap. Discard a card at random from your hand to regenerate target creature. Good God. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, there are some cards. What is it? It's part of the reserve list. Oh, God. So because it's part of the reserve list, it's $1.53. Come on, people. That card is never going to see play. Whoops, it's never going to see play. Unless maybe there's going to be some sort of card one day. If you discarded a card at random from your hand, you get some huge payoff, but I doubt it. White Plume Adventure is not from Fallen Empires. What? Oh, someone's naming White Plume Adventure. Yeah, back in the day. I would sip from that cup. Yeah, why not? Okay, Ebon Praetor. Art looks like a divorce court for a demon and a bunny. Oh, yeah, we saw that one. We saw that one. The Ebon Praetor. Did we see this one? Pretty sure we saw this. Yeah, it's that weird card. Looks like some weird marriage is happening in front of a banker. The Jaded with Order of Lateburr. The hell is that? The Order of Lateburr. A white 2/1 human cleric knight with protection from black. Actually, if you just stopped it right there, it's not too bad. But we got white Order of Lightburr gets +1/+0 until end of turn. That's good. And pay 1 white, Order of Lightburr gains first strike until end of turn. That's also good. All things considered, like, this card might as well be a bomb in this set as far as I'm concerned. It's a 2/1 that can get first strike, which would be good against all the generic cards as well. It's not like, what's it called, is gonna block it. It's not like Orcus Champion can block this. It's not like Dwarven Armorer can block it either. What else? Not even like Thalid can block it because of the first strike. So Order of Viper is definitely one of the best cards we've seen all today. Unbelievable. Okay, we got Acacian Town. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Acacian Town. For a white 5 generic sorcery, put 4 1/1 white citizen creature tokens into play. Acacia's once peaceful towns faced increasing attacks from orcs and goblins as the climate cooled. By the time the Empire fell, they were little more than armed camps. Terrible card. I think we are running out of Fallen Empires cards. Was the set small? Oh, we got the Order of Light Beer. That doesn't sound like a real card. Order of Light? No, such a card does not exist. This is a reference to something else. Is Breeding Pit a card? I feel like we saw that card. Yeah, we saw the card. Maybe we are running out of cards. The set is very small. The set is very small. Very, very small. Thalid Devour. I have a feeling it hurt you to say this one. Oh no, maybe you like fungus. But I also thought you liked the Thalids. This devours the Thalids for some reason. Okay, we got a green 1 generic 2/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a spore counter on the Thalid Devourer. Remove 3 spore counters from Thalid Devourer to put a 1/1 green Saproling creature token into play. And sacrifice a Saproling. Thalid Devourer gets +1/+2 until end of turn. Easy. Easy terrible. Sarpadian Empires, Volume 7. This might as well have been called, like, I don't know, Thalid Empires. There's a lot of Thalids in this set, and Thralls. Thalid and Thrall Empires. Oh, we got from Christopher, Thelanite Monk. We're running out of stuff. Okay, we got a green 2 generic. 1/2 cleric. That looks like a manta ray or something like that. Tap, sacrifice a green creature to turn a target land into a basic forest. Mark changed land with a counter. Oh, this is terrible. I guess I guess if you need forest walk, this would be playable, but that's about it. I think this set is just more about the lore in the flavor text than what the cards actually do. Boulder with the super chat. Rakdos, Lord of Riots. Is that in the set? No. What the hell is going on here, Boulder? I don't know why you're mentioning this, but not a Fallen Empires card. But thank you very much for the super chat. Goblin Kites. Is that a real card? We're getting to the bottom of the barrels here, people. Okay, he's going to fly a kite. Red 1 generic enchantment. Pay a red. A target creature you control which cannot have a toughness greater than 2 gains flying until end of turn. Other effects may later be used to increase the creature's toughness. Oh, really? At the end of turn, flip a coin. Opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. If the flip ends in opponent's favor, bury the creature! Why? I guess the idea is like maybe there's going to be a crash landing. Yeah, stop trolling poor Nikachu. All right, well, Fallen Emp. Now I know how bad this set is. I've always heard that this set was bad, but I didn't know why. And now after going through all the cards, they're just all underpowered, or there's like it's all risk, no reward. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you want to be part of the show, be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thanks to all the supporters, people who super chat to be part of the show, the people who are members on YouTube and patrons on Patreon. If you want to support the show, I got links in the description to that. But most importantly, we got to thank the people who show up in the morning, like name Crackling Goblin. We got Bread, Oxygen, Mr. Deadhead, Mr. Very Smart, Christopher B, Cute Spider, Atheus, David, the Pig Squid, Bandit, Sounds of Sushi, Duke, Jesse, missing some other people here. Christopher B. Thank you all very much for being here in the morning, because without all you guys, I have no show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep bringing up them coffees, and we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next